So this summer I did a really bad job at taking videos of my garden. I've been slightly overwhelmed this summer, and I think part of that is that we had a lot of drought and heat and weird stuff that altered my garden. It wasn't the same this year as usual, but the one thing that we had an abundance of is squash. I'm super glad for that because a friend of mine gave me all the squash, and she passed away from cancer. And so there were a lot of seeds in the compost, and we ended up having these gifts to remind me of her. So that was cool. But, tomatoes, we still got a lot this year, but it took them forever to ripen because of the weather conditions. I have these white pumpkins that are, needing to get a lot bigger, and they're just now starting to do something. So I'm worried about that. Hopefully the frost holds off. I've noticed that the trees are not turning colors yet, so maybe that's a good sign. And I also had some pests, and I never have issues with that. So next year I'm going to be diligent on finding natural ways to get rid of the pest issues that we had this year. I don't spray. I don't intend to spray, but I do intend to find a way to make my garden better next year. So I'm finally getting these white strawberries that I put out in the spring. I don't know if they're supposed to be ripening at this point, but they are, so that's cool. I love sedum. It's beautiful and hardy, and all you have to do is cut off a stem and put it into the ground, and you'll have more next year. This is the first year that I planted corn. I planted a few different kinds, and so it's kind of been hard finding the balance and the time when to pick them so that they, are ready. We had glass gem corn, and a couple of them I picked too soon. The rest of them we're going to do popcorn with. Anyway, a lot of this is starting to die back, and I wish I would have done some videos when it was in its glory stage. I had a lot of tamarillo this season. I bring this in the winter because it's more of a tropical plant. But anyway, the one thing that I really love is that we have lots of Jerusalem artichoke around here. I'm letting it was just kind of in the field next to us, and I'm letting it come up into the yard. It's beautiful, and it's a food source, and it'll probably take over this little corner eventually, but that's all good. We did Mexican sour gherkins this year, just one plant, and it is going crazy. So next year, lots of them. I'm planting lots of them. Hopefully, all the tomatoes on here start to ripen. We've gotten a lot of tomatoes off of here, but it took a month longer than it usually does for us for them to start ripening. So it was the weather, just a crazy year. But anyway, here is my garden as it's dying down, and I'm loving it.